Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us on our Friday TNT. It's the last day of the week, been a pretty busy week. Now tomorrow is going to be our regular chat. It'll be at the time of 9 a.m. Thai time, a full hour with just you and me and a chat. Any topics, any questions, we can debate about anything you want. Everybody is welcome. So that's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thai time. And on Sunday, back with Grumpy Old Men. We recorded it yesterday, but we did it in a restaurant. I'm not sure if it worked or not. It was pretty noisy, and I'm sure we'll get complaints, people coming in and out, but we ordered the food and we ate the food and had a chat during that time. So that's Grumpy Old Men on Sunday with Mr. Steve Ross with an E. Now, a message from yesterday, and this is from France Borka, says, Tim, I enjoy your commentary. However, I don't understand why you never follow up on any news that you've reported on. What happened to the American accused of molesting a minor a couple of months ago? What's going on with the Russian who dropped his girlfriend off the balcony? These are just two examples of too many to list. Every day there are stories left in the wind for all of us to ponder. If you want more subscribers, make the effort to complete the reporting, giving us good sense updates and closure to the story. It seems you are too busy with juggling all your projects to focus on TNT. You've stated yourself that consistency is the key to being a good YouTuber. Please don't take it personal. It's just an observation. I don't take it personal at all. And look, it's a perfectly good criticism. The only updates I can do are updates that are published in the Thai media. I'm not rushing around with my notepad and camera around the country gathering the news. That's not what we do here. We're basically an aggregator and we read out and analyse other people's news. That's sort of my gig. So I agree, we should follow up with what's happening, and I do as often as I can when that news is available. As far as being too busy, I do have my TNT, which takes me 2 or 3 hours a day. I've got a day job writing for a publication, and then of course I've got my other projects, which at the moment involves doing some renovations about an hour north of where I live in Phuket. So that does take me, the 2 hours of driving every day, plus all the work. I am pretty busy, but it's not as if I ignore TNT. It's just, I've got other things to do as well. So it's not as if I'm ignoring you or I'm not following up. I can only follow up what's published in the Thai media. Now let's go to our first story. This is published by PattayaMail.com, and I suppose it's a bit of an editorial by Mr. Barry Kenyon, what Thailand's expats can expect from the new government. Good question, and I think it's valuable to read this, check Barry's analysis and see if you agree or not. And interesting, at the top of the story, it's got a photo of a cannabis boutique, and it says the continued availability of marijuana is an important consequence for international tourism. That's a pretty lively note to start on there, Barry, so let's check out your analysis. In order to achieve, he says, post-election constitutional power, Thailand's Pheu Thai party finds itself abed, which is another way of saying in bed, with its former enemies allied to the military junta, which seized power in 2014. It says it's a wobbly coalition, but it's likely to last several years. And then Barry moves on to some other analysis. The most obvious consequence of the latest power alignment in Bangkok is excellent news for the marijuana industry and its thousands of retail outlets throughout the country. And further down it says that during the recent election, Pheu Thai had voiced concerns about the weed and threatened to return it to narcotic status. Nothing more will be heard of that, he says. He says the new administration will introduce a bill to clarify some ambiguous details, such as business registration procedures, cannabis cafes, and permissible marketing strategies. Pot smokers can rest easy, at any rate in private. Well, I'll kick off the discussion, Barry, and I look forward to other people's thoughts on the matter as well. I think there will be some sort of winding back of, the current situation, which is really no situation at all. It's just open slather. All the parties, bar Pheu Thai, we're talking about relisting cannabis as a narcotic. I think what we're going to see is a winding back, certainly the recreational use, the open recreational use, and the retail sector, the proliferation of shops around the country. But I do think we'll see a consolidation of the medicinal uses of marijuana and the opportunities that that provides. That's the way I see it, but interested in your analysis. Barry's got other ideas. Moving on to other topics, Thai authorities are likely to continue the policy of welcoming international tourists. So, well, despite the fact that Chinese travellers are the number one travellers from overseas at the moment, nationally, and certainly here in Phuket, where I checked the figures yesterday, the numbers are still way down on what they used to be. But then again, the numbers are way down for a lot of countries at the moment. But the Chinese still leading the way for the numbers of people coming through the immigration turnstiles, albeit fewer than in the past. Then Barry goes on saying that the Tourism Authority of Thailand will continue the welcoming atmosphere for niche market Muslims, gays and medical tourists, as well as tour groups and independent travellers. Pretty much covered everybody there. Thus, immigration and visa regulations for short-term tourists are likely to remain fairly open. And then he says, although expats on annual extensions can expect to see tightening of the rules regarding cash deposits and comprehensive medical insurance, as anticipated recently by the Deputy National Police Chief Surachat Hakpan, whether the well-known immigration rear doors and escape hatches will remain unscathed remains to be seen. Off you go, Clive. You can have a slash at that one. From my point of view, I think Barry's fairly right with that. There are going to be some changes. We don't know what they are. They haven't been openly discussed yet, except that the Deputy National Police Chief and the former immigration head has been talking it up, that he wants to try and tighten restrictions a bit. We don't know if that's going to mean that the age for retirement visas is going to go up, whether the qualifications, he's going to set the bar higher, whether they're going to introduce mandatory health insurance. I mean, these are all things I think that we can expect, but none of them have been confirmed at this stage. Of course, we've got Thailand Elite. They'll be announcing in the next few weeks their new policies, and I think people are expecting those costs will go up, which I think will give us a bit of a signal what might happen to some of the other long-stay visas in the future. And then Barry says, investments in large infrastructure projects to benefit long-term economic and commercial development of Thailand will continue, especially those in the Eastern Economic Corridor, which includes Pattaya. For example, plans to create 4 billion baht cruise port at Bali High are sure to be approved, not to mention an overhead monorail facility to link Pattaya rail station with the city centre. Good heavens, I mean, that monorail in Pattaya is taking longer than the tunnel into Patong. Both topics have been discussed for, a couple of decades. And speaking of the monorail, Barry says it needs to be coordinated with the fast-track train service linking Utapao Airport with Bangkok. So, of course, it's now up to the new government to decide where it wants to push its money into which projects. So, fair commentary there from Barry Kenyon in PattayaMail.com. Now, moving on to another story today, and Bangkok Post reporting the new Prime Minister Seta meets General Prayut. And I should say I've had about 20 people in the last few days telling me how I should pronounce the name of the new Prime Minister, all quite contrary to each other, so I'm none the wiser. I'm just going to call him in the short term Sita Thavisin, and I'm sure that's wrong, but until I can actually get somebody to whisper it in my ear, we'll leave it at that. And there's a picture of Sita Thavisin and General Prayut Chan-o-cha, the outgoing Prime Minister, shaking hands during their meeting yesterday. Well, just noting the new Prime Minister, a very tall gentleman, 1.92 metres, that's 6'3" in the old language, and 1.82 metres, the height of Prayut Chan-o-cha. I thought he was a bit shorter than that. I thought he was my height, but apparently he's about, using the old imperial, 6 foot. So the two gentlemen meeting at Parliament House, Government House yesterday, and newly appointed Prime Minister Sita Thavisin met with his predecessor, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, at Government House yesterday to seek advice. The key piece of advice from his predecessor: stay calm and be patient while running the country. Sita told reporters later he's a respected senior figure. The talks were held amicably, like adult discussions. And the visit came after the former property tycoon and candidate for Pheu Thai party received royal endorsement as the country's 30th Prime Minister on Wednesday. And in addition to advising his successor to stay calm and patient, General Prayut asked him to take care of the three pillar institutions: nation, religion and monarchy, and continue with the good policies that the outgoing government has been implementing. He insisted there were no discussions about the Defence Minister portfolio, saying the two men simply exchanged views on how to make the country move forward. General Prayut Chan-o-cha, apart from being the Prime Minister, was also the Defence Minister in Thailand. General Prayut said the country was moving ahead with the new government and it was time to end political division. He dismissed speculation that Mr. Sita had become Prime Minister due to his support, saying the formation of the new government followed parliamentary procedures. Quite a lot of discussion in the comments section yesterday, people saying, my parliamentary system's better than yours. And I was trying to say to people, look, there are quite a few parliamentary systems around the world. Thailand's got its own particular variation. You mightn't like it. My job is just to try and clarify how it works and also describe what's happening. It's not that I support it. And just by reporting it doesn't mean that I support it. It just means that that's the way it is here in Thailand. Let's see the way Thai PBS World reported this. Prayut asked me to move past conflicts. There's Prayut Chan-o-cha showing the new Prime Minister his collection of azaleas or something. And then as the newly appointed Prime Minister and Prayut Jr., it was an appropriate gesture to visit him and ask for his opinions. And Prayut said that this is, a few extra this is the first time that two premiers have met to exchange ideas about the country prior to the transfer of power. And Sita described Prayut as a respectable senior and nice. The meeting was arranged by the two men's respective staffs. So a peaceful transfer of power happening in Thailand, and the former Prime Minister meeting the new Prime Minister yesterday at Government House. Now, big thanks to our sponsors who have been with us since day one. 5 Star Marine. If you type in 5starmarine.com into your Google machine, you'll find all about what they can do and the tours they provide. And if you go into the description section of our YouTube channel, you'll see, a link specially for TNT viewers. And hoping we get the opportunity to see you tomorrow morning. That'll be at 9 a.m. Thai time, a live program where I get to yak for an hour, responding to your comments and questions as best I can. I'll put a link up on our YouTube community section today. Anybody who wants to preload a few topics or questions so I can get my brain together before I turn the on the go button tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Thai time on Saturday. To our next topic, and speaking of the incoming government, this was one of their major policies. A bit of pork barrelling, but this is what Pheu Thai were promising. And Thai PBS World saying digital wallet scheme expected to be launched by mid-2024. And Pheu Thai Party's digital wallet scheme is expected to be launched during the first half of next year, but before the Songkran Festival in April. And a deputy spokesperson for the Pheu Thai Party said that viral social media claims that they've cancelled the scheme amidst the spread of a fake application asking people to register and receive the 10,000 baht subsidy was fake news. And she warned members of the public not to fall prey to call centre scammers who are sending messages containing links to their cell phones asking them to click the link if they want to receive the subsidy. Now, this is going to be a 10,000 baht gift to all Thais, I think over the age of 18. Now, I imagine it's going to be quite inflationary, all that extra cash suddenly floating in the system. And basically it's going to be a digital wallet, so it's going to be in an app, an official government app, hence the warning of all the scammers at the moment. But people will be able to spend it, but it's not going to be cash. It's going to be in an app, and I suppose they'll just sort of wave that over the QR code when they go to spend that 10,000 baht. The story goes on saying the Minister for Digital Economy and Society said that the government have notified Google, asking them to block the fake posts on its website. He said that fake posts ask members of the public to register on their application if they want to receive the 10,000 baht, adding that once they downloaded the app, they risk having their bank deposits emptied by the scammers. Well, not really going to bother us foreign residents, but obviously something the scammers are jumping on, this promised 10,000 baht digital wallet by the Pheu Thai party. To the next story now, sea turtles still being impacted by oil at Phuket beaches. This being reported by thephuket.express.com, noting that 3 or 4 weeks ago there was an oil spill off Phuket and oil washing up along around about 60 or 70 kilometres of Andaman coastline and causing a lot of problem for anybody walking along the beach with those tar balls and the oil strewn all over the place. And thank you again to all those volunteers that got out with the bags to remove as much of it as they can. But it has been impacting, of course, the marine life. Most of it probably will never know, never see. But at least this turtle has had a bit of a reprieve. Officials from the Department of Marine and Coastal Resources told the Phuket Express they were notified of the incident by staff at the Marine Rescue Centre at Kata Beach. They went to the beach to find the weak olive ridley sea turtle weighing about 11 kilograms. Oil was found in its mouth. The turtle was rescued and the oil was cleaned from it before the turtle was taken to an animal rescue centre for further medical treatment. And a big thanks to those mostly volunteer organisations that do help rehabilitate a lot of the marine life in the area. Going to this story from thebangkokpost.com, Pheu Thai touts new airports for Chiang Mai and Phuket. The Pheu Thai party is looking to refurbish airports all over the country and also build 2 new airports, one in Chiang Mai and the other in Phuket, as part of its aim to boost tourism. And this from the new Prime Minister, who said the government, led by his party, would go on the offensive to spur tourism, which accounts directly and indirectly for about 1/5 of the country's economy. He said all airports throughout the country will be refurbished to welcome tourists from all over the world. In Chiang Mai, the new airport should make the arrival and departure of tourists during the night more comfortable. The existing airport had some limitations, he said. And talking about the Phuket airport, he said it should be exclusively for international flights. And the next paragraph, Phuket International Airport has only 1 runway and the surrounding terrain does not allow for a second runway to be built. And it notes that Airports of Thailand earlier proposed building a Phuket Airport number 2, which would actually be located in nearby Phang province, but that plan is currently on hold. Interesting to note the location I'm moving to in Phang is actually closer driving time to Phuket Airport than where I live on Phuket at the moment. And the Chiang Mai airport's currently undergoing the first phase of an expansion to increase its capacity to 16.5 million passengers per year. Let's find out a little bit more about the new Chiang Mai airport. Nation Thailand reporting AOT launches Chiang Mai airport expansion to serve 20 million passengers in a decade. Pretty fancy looking airport there. If it looks anything like that, I think the people of Chiang Mai would be pretty happy. And Airports of Thailand yesterday officially launched its 10-year development project of the Chiang Mai International Airport, aiming to improve its capacity to serve 20 million passengers per year by 2023. And currently the airport had a maximum capacity of 8 million passengers per year, while the number of passengers before the COVID-19 outbreak showed an 11% annual growth. And with over 10 million passengers passing through in 2019, Chiang Mai had become AOT's 4th largest airport, prompting the authority to draft a development plan to further expand its capacity. And the first phase, running from 2022 to 2029, will cover the feasibility study and environmental impact assessment of the project. The construction will take 3 years from 2026 to 2029. The first phase will be ready for public use by 2030. And the second phase of the development will start from 2030 to 2033 and will further expand the airport capacity to 20 million passengers. So it's not happening tomorrow. We've got another decade of this development. But Chiang Mai, obviously seen by the AOT, the TAT and the government generally as an area where there's going to be considerable tourism growth in the future. And Bangkok Post reporting German Hells Angel member faces extradition. There he is having a nice quiet breakfast and, 3 policemen just walk in saying, "We've got something to discuss with you, sir." Immigration police in Chiang Rai have arrested a German man believed to be a Hells Angel member who's wanted for severe assault of a man in his home country. And 50-year-old Dennis Fisher was apprehended at a hotel in the city district of the northern province on Tuesday. And police say the German had a 1-year non-immigrant visa that was due to expire on July the 12th next year. And German authorities had asked the Royal Thai Police to find and extradite Mr. Fisher. And police say the suspect was a member of a Hells Angel motorcycle gang in the German port city of Kiel. Authorities there say he and his girlfriend lured a man to a public swimming pool and then shot him in the thigh. That's certainly enough to ruin your breakfast. So that's it for today and for this week on TNT. Tomorrow our live program at 9 a.m. Thai time. Please drop in and join in the fun. It's an hour discussion. You can talk about anything, any topic, any questions that are on your mind. I'll do my best to answer them. And then on Sunday we've got our Grumpy Old Men program with myself and Steve Ross. So have a great Friday. We look forward to seeing you sometime over the weekend. Otherwise back next Monday with our next TNT.